Make certain you wear clean underwear in case you are in an accident and you have to go to the hospital. If you keep making that face, your face will freeze that way. You'll be sorry. Those are the rules that I grew up with, some from my mother, some from my grandmother, but they were the rules. I, on the other hand, have written down a list of 20 rules that I have given to my daughters to protect them from the world. Some of these rules are from literature, some are colloquialisms. Pain is just weakness leaving the body. Know what you know and know how you know it. They're numbered, but the first 3 are the most important to protect my daughters from society, from men in general. So I'm here to talk about the first 3 rules that I find most important, vice the benign rules that I grew up with. So, rule number 1. And of course I just forgot. Rule number 1. Kissing leads to babies. You all laugh. But think about it. In any relationship you have ever been in that got romantically serious, it started out with kissing. We've all kissed our spouse, and somewhere along the line, I believe all of us in this room have produced offspring. So it is very true. So when you have a 16-year-old daughter, you want to make certain she understands that kissing is but the first step of something that could lead to disaster or a very beautiful consequence. So that is rule number 1. Rule number 2, probably the most important, a question to the group. How can you tell a boy is lying?
His lips are moving.
His lips are moving. So, that is the second rule. It is probably the most important rule because a hormonal teenager, a boy in general, has only one thing on his mind. And he will say just about anything to get what he wants. And I have 2 daughters who I'm trying to protect from this boy, having been that boy some years ago. So, how do you tell a boy is lying? His lips are moving. That is rule number 2. Now, for rule number 3, probably the most self-serving of all the rules I have created for my daughters. And they know if you ask them the rule, they will tell you. Men are pigs. I am setting their expectations low so that when they do get romantically serious and are looking for a husband, they're not disappointed. They know the rules. They have low expectations. They will find a husband that meets their standards because they understand men are pigs. But I'm already married. So this is self-serving in this way. They have low expectations of my behavior at home. I can get away with a few things without having to suffer their criticism. I suffer it from my wife. So, those are the 3 rules. But why did I put them out there, and why have I stressed these the most with my daughters? It is to protect them. How do I know the effectiveness of the rules and that the lessons are learned? I've got 2 pieces of valuable feedback. My oldest daughter is a college student at Ohio State University. She was at a frat party, dancing with a guy she had met at the frat party, and it's crowded, and some guy's walking behind her, probably to go to the bar, and he brushes up a little too close to her. So the first time she assumes it's a mistake. On the way back from the bar, he brushes up a little too close to her the second time, and she turns around and catches him by the throat and slams him against the wall and asks him what he does not understand about personal space. So clearly, she has adopted and grasped the rules. My middle daughter, She's 17 now, starting to date a little bit, more than I would prefer her to do as a father. And she had a mild dating with a boy that she knew at school. And they went to a water park one day. And she came home and promptly informed us that she had broken up with this boy. Her mother and I didn't pry, we didn't ask. It was probably a good thing. But it was very clear that somewhere in the engagement that day, he had invaded her personal space and taken the relationship further than what she wanted. So my daughters have learned the rules. Granted, there are 20. The first 3 are the most important. So, to rehash the first 3 rules again. Kissing leads to babies. How can you tell a boy is lying? His lips are moving. And men are pigs. Rules 4 through 20 are written down, and I will give them in a letter as they go off to college, and they actually call back to haunt and use. My challenge in the rules is my son. How do I instill the rules upon him on how to appropriately treat the women in his life? Thank you very much.